Stephan. Welcome to the Commerce Talks podcast. Today here in a live setup in Stockholm, we're going to talk about the platform economy, the online strategy of Husqvarna. Please share with the audience, who are you?
Yeah, definitely I can do. So first of all, thanks for having me, Alex. Really great to be here in Stockholm. Lovely sunny day in Stockholm. And for the ones who don't know who Husqvarna is one of the world's leading gardening brands. You know probably our robotic mowers, you know our chainsaws, you know our garden tractors and a lot of other garden machinery tools. We are actually a quite old company. We refer to ourselves as one of the oldest startups in the world, getting 333 years old this year. So actually quite an old company.
Can you share some numbers? So revenue, number of employees?
So we are a publicly listed company, so I have to be careful with what kind of numbers I state.
No forward-looking numbers today. Okay.
But if you look into our last annual report, so just to give you a bit of a size idea, we are doing roughly 47 billion SEK, which is equally 4.5 billion euro, if you convert it to euro. 14,000 employees selling our products all over the world, basically from North America up until Australia. You can find us everywhere. And we are not just known for the Husqvarna brand. We also have a couple of other brands in our company. So one of the other ones that is quite well known in Europe is Gardena, which is Europe's leading garden watering brand, also selling a lot of gardening tools, etc.
Okay, before we get into the question how you're selling, maybe let's get into the product line a bit more. So on the Husqvarna side, we have this automatic lawn mowing machines. Then we have the Husqvarna rider line. I own one, I have to admit. Then we have chainsaws, which Husqvarna is very well known for. Is this kind of the main assortment, or have I forgotten something?
We have a quite broad range of garden machinery tools, but you're actually right. I think chainsaws is what we are really originated from. This is what we are well known for. But also these days, more and more autonomous products like our robotic mower. Husqvarna has founded a robotic mower more than 20 years ago. So we are actually quite long in that space. And we truly believe that this is the kind of tools that we also want to focus on in the near-term future and long-term future for us.
Okay, looking back like 10 years ago, how have those products been found their customers?
Actually, a good question, because I'm just 6 years with the company, but I would imagine that 10 years ago it wasn't that much different. Traditionally, the Husqvarna products have been sold through our partner network. We have a quite big partner network. We internally refer to them as local dealers. You might know them. It's these local players that you have in your city that are selling garden machinery tools, more B2B oriented companies, I would say, traditionally, where you were going to if you had a question about a garden machinery tool, etc. This is how you've got your Husqvarna products in the old fashioned days, I would say.
So it's a 100% wholesale based business, or were there Husqvarna flagship stores where I could buy a Husqvarna rider directly from Husqvarna, for example?
I would say it's a 99% wholesale business. We have, of course, in the meantime, a couple of flagship stores. We have one here in Stockholm. But we also have, throughout the world, a couple of owned stores.
And in German terms, it was Fachmarkt-based, so only professional stores. So I couldn't buy it at an OB DIY store, Hornbach, for example, or others.
Exactly.
Correct?
So we believe that Husqvarna, or we are not believing, we actually know that Husqvarna is a premium garden machinery brand that actually requires a kind of professional service that you wouldn't get at a big box DIY store, for example. This is why we are not selling our products there. We are going through professional partners. And these days, and that's of course one of the main reasons why we are having that conversation, also more and more online.
And what changed over the last 10 years? Is there more customers that are requesting those products online, trying to buy at the Husqvarna website, want to get a better deal, want to maybe go around the direct dealer, maybe don't have access in their region to a dealer?
I would say actually everything has changed. The whole world has changed. If you imagine, like, e-commerce is still a relatively young thing. We are doing that. The two of us, we know each other since 10 years, and we just spoke about it briefly before we started recording that. That whole industry is just about 20 years old, I would say, in Europe. And of course, over the last 10 years, everything has changed. Our products have changed from more traditional products to more autonomous products, robotic products, etc. where people, of course, nowadays start their research more and more online. I mean, that is what we know by market research, that consumers, if they are interested in a new garden machinery, in a robotic mower, they don't go, what's the first place they are going to? It's not a traditional dealer, it's not a big box retailer, it's on YouTube, it's on Instagram, it's on these channels where they're getting informed, where they are researching, and of course then as a next step they also want to do the purchase then online.
Okay, got it. How big is the market for autonomous mowers? Can you give us like a
super big
estimate?
market? I actually can't give you a really an exact number. I don't have it out in my head. You will find some more numbers about that in our latest annual report if you want to read that. But I can tell you that we are still in the early days. I mean, Husqvarna founded that category 20 years ago, but still if you look in developed markets, I would say like Sweden, you will see robotic mowers here and there. If you look in a market like Germany, Switzerland, etc., you will see them. But it's not like every neighbor has a robotic mower yet. So that's definitely our vision, that robotic mowers over the next couple of years still have their peak ahead of them.
If I go to my neighbor, and as you know, I'm living on a farm, and if I go to my neighbor or the local dealer, obviously there's no alternative. So everybody has like the rider, so it's the best like gardening tractor. I don't know if this is a correct word for it. In this area, the ones that do have like an automatic lawnmower do have Gardena or Husqvarna. The dealer will tell me there's no alternative. If I go to the Obi Baumarkt, they might have some alternative there from an Asian no-name brand. So from a competitive situation, is it still what you see in your business? So not so much of a real professional competition, because you're coming out of this like B2B area where it's all about like professional, high-quality products.
Yeah, I would say that, of course, I mean, as we started quite early on in that category, as we have founded that category, not a lot of other players have dared to go into that space. I mean, it's an interesting fact if you think about robotic mowers. What we nowadays know is the vacuum cleaner, the vacuum cleaning robots that we all have at our homes, or most of us have. But we have actually been before the vacuum cleaners out with our products. But doing that in the garden is quite of a different challenge, because a garden is not such a closed environment as your own home. I mean, you have changing weather conditions, you have wind, you have rain, you have different flower situations, you have a flower bed that you're changing, etc. So obviously that product is an autonomous product, but it comes with quite some complexity from a product development perspective. And I would say that this is for sure one of the reasons why you see not so many big competitors in that space. And the other one is, of course, that, I mean, Husqvarna is a premium brand and we are delivering premium products. So not many companies have really managed to be on that level. Okay,
I would do a check mark on the product side. Then maybe let's look into the dealer situation. So I would expect, or how I see the market, there's not so much expansion on the professional dealership anymore. Even like the other way around, that like dealers have to close because the family don't want to follow up with a business. Maybe the market is getting like too competitive, or it's too small, or nobody wants to repair riders anymore. So how is this market developing?
Of course, the dealer business is a bit of a challenged business over the years, because also we as consumers, and I include myself, I mean, we tend to go less and less offline shopping. We do more online shopping, of course, these days. And that's also true for our industry. So you see that this is also happening with the traditional dealers. Then we have the generation problem that you just mentioned, that a lot of the more, let's say, old-fashioned dealers, where maybe the first or the second generation of the family is now retiring, and maybe the son or the daughter is not really interested in continuing that family business, so they're getting out of business. Then, of course, urbanization was something that also affected that industry over the last couple of years, where we've seen a lot of people moving into the cities, and traditionally our kind of dealers are more outside of the cities. That is hopefully changing now with the pandemic again. But yes, in general, I would follow your description or what you explained, that we will see that this business is getting more challenging, but at the same time, of course, we have a lot of dealers who also see the opportunities in it, who also see the opportunities online, who also think about new business models. A big topic for us is services. I mean, how can also these partners differentiate themselves through other kind of services that they can do these days than just selling products.
Yeah. If I would ask my local dealer selling Husqvarna products, he's the only one like in a 50-kilometer ring about my home. So there's no urge for him to differentiate. You have on your business card direct to consumer. Are you allowed to enter a dealership with Husqvarna products, or will they send you away?
No, of course, and I think that differentiates us from other brands who are going direct. So maybe as an explanation for the audience who isn't aware, so my role basically within Husqvarna is to build up and scale the D2C business in Europe and Pacific. And coming back to your question, what we truly believe in is that we want to, within our industry, form a different kind of D2C approach where it's not just about selling a physical product and shipping that from our warehouse to the consumers. We actually want to integrate our dealers into that process, and we want to leverage them for additional services, installation of robotic mowers, winter services, other kinds of gardening services that they can provide. So I actually like to be together with our dealers. We have regular dealer conferences. We didn't have them that much in the pandemic times, of course, but really looking forward meeting more and more dealers again now after the pandemic, or when we are allowed to travel again. And usually it's very fruitful conversations with them, because these guys, I mean, they know the consumers best, they know what kind of products are asked for, etc. So it's really always kind of fruitful discussions that we have with them.
Can you walk us through the customer journey here? So let's assume I want to get rid of my gas-powered Husqvarna Rider, which is an all-wheel drive, very cool garden tractor. I can recommend everybody here in the room, and want to move to a battery-driven one. And then I go to a website and see, okay, there's a new model coming out, whatever. There's some specs I'm interested in, and then I click. Can I click on buy, and then you send me to a dealer, or how will it work?
Yeah, I can definitely explain that a bit. So first of all, good choice, I would say, Alex, that you're making the move from petrol to battery. That's something that we really strive for, that we believe strongly as a company in. And that's where also you will see a lot of innovation, where we already brought out a lot of products over the last couple of years, and also will continue to innovate quite a bit. And you asked me prior to podcast recording, how good are your battery products these days? Are they really suitable enough and powerful enough for my garden? And I can definitely ensure you that this is the case. But coming back to your question, how the consumer journey looks like. So Husqvarna was actually in our industry, I would say, quite of an early starter when it comes to D2C. We started 5-6 years ago. And maybe for the audience, just to give you a bit of reference, the DIY industry, the larger gardening industry, is still a bit of an underdeveloped category when it comes to e-commerce overall. So 5 years prior to today, I would say we have been one of the early starters in that industry. And these days we are operating own D2C sites in 16 European markets. So we are, and Australia, New Zealand, and Japan, to be quite honest here. So in most of the European markets, including Sweden, including Germany, France, UK, etc., you start your journey on Husqvarna.com. You actually don't start your journey there, because you will find us on social networks, you will find us on Instagram, you will find us on YouTube, etc. You end up on the Husqvarna website, and you will actually be able to purchase there. So you make a direct business relationship with Husqvarna. But then we offer you straight in the purchase process, we offer you the integration of our dealers. So in your case, we would refer to you, hey, Alex, we have a great partner here in the Kiel area where you're located. Do you want to have additional services next to your petrol product, next to the battery product that you have chosen? Do you want to get it? Do you want to pick it up at your dealer? Do you want to get it home delivered? Do you want any other additional services with it, installation and so on? And this is where we would integrate our partners. So it would be, for you as a consumer, a seamless process where we really integrate tightly our dealers.
But is a dealer getting part of the sales price? Let's say a battery-driven tractor at Husqvarna costs me roughly like 6K. So in the standard wholesale process, usually the dealer bought the product from Husqvarna for, let's say, 4K in this case, and sold me for 6K, though they had like a 2K profit. Are they getting 2K from you in this new customer journey?
I can't tell you if they're getting exactly 2K, but what I can tell you for sure is that they're
all
getting...
the listeners are asking this question, so I have to ask the question.
No,
right?
for sure we also financially let them participate on that deal that we are doing. So they all get a commission for every sale that happens on the website, every sale that they are involved, because we also strongly believe that it's not just the purchasing journey, it's also the after-sales journey, it's the usage phase of your product. So what happens if you are out in the field with your tractor and all of a sudden it stops working and you need some advice, you need some expert who helps you out. So this is why we actually involve the dealers and let them participate on that deal, because we strongly believe that they also play a role after the initial sale.
Okay, got it. And they will protect most likely the Husqvarna economy by not letting other brands in their dealership, right?
You will see there a big difference, I would say, per market. You have markets where you have more mono-brand dealers where they are just focusing on Husqvarna because we are, of course, the best brand to focus on, so it absolutely makes sense. But then you have other countries where you have dealers who are open to multiple brands and carry also other brands
the
next to
bad dealers,
Husqvarna.
yes. I know. No, I totally get it. You told already that you're using all channels, also including Instagram, so... Are there like gardening influencers, gardening tractor influencers you're using?
Yeah, actually, we believe that you are kind of a big gardening tractor influencer. We have to speak about that relationship in the future, yes. Yeah. No, I mean, in that specific niche, I think you will find not that many influencers, but gardening in general is, of course, a booming subject. I mean, we all know that, given the pandemic, especially over the last couple of years, the booming at the home cocooning phase where everybody, instead of traveling, invested into their own homes, into their own gardens, etc., was quite helpful for that. So we see that more and more influencers are also entering that space. DIY as a wider topic is, of course, also big on YouTube and on other social channels. So you will find quite a lot of influencers there. And of course, we are also cooperating with these influencers. We are creating our own content, so you will find us on all different channels.
Okay, then let's going back to the sales channel question. So Husqvarna.com will be the main page for starting the customer journey. We've talked a lot about B2C customer journey processes, where a lot of them starts with Amazon, especially for the German-speaking markets, where people might even start their search, like a lawnmower, lawn tractor, a lawn mowing tractor, whatever. How do you manage this search queries?
Of course, super relevant question, because, I mean, especially in markets like Germany, UK, France, where Amazon is the leading online dealer, you will see that more and more consumers start actually also kind of their research phase on Amazon these days, right? If you need a new washing machine, if you need a new whatever, you instantly go to Amazon and check out there. So the first job that we are doing there as a brand, as a premium brand, is that we believe you shouldn't start your journey on Amazon. So we actually try to build up the brand prior to that. We actually try to build up the brand on other channels, on Instagram, on social, on YouTube, etc., so that you then wouldn't search generically just for a lawnmower or a chainsaw. You would actually search for a Husqvarna chainsaw, etc. Of course, Amazon is an important player for us when it comes to advertising. And for sure, also the Amazon business model changed quite a bit there in recent days, where it's not any longer just for them the business about selling products, but also selling advertising. I don't have the numbers in my head, but I would say after Google and Meta, it's probably the biggest advertising platform these days. And we are in heavy dialogue with them. We run Amazon Fire campaigns, etc., to also leverage the Amazon advertising platform. But we actually don't sell our products on Amazon, because we believe that for us, for the premium brand that we are, for the quality aspects that our product require, etc., that Amazon isn't a suitable channel.
And they allow you to book advertising space on Amazon and redirect the traffic to your own website?
You can have a lot of conversations with Amazon and you will hear very different messages there. But yes, I can assure you they allow that. It's a tough conversation with Amazon to send traffic away from Amazon, and they don't really like to do that all the time. But they make exceptions, especially for brands that are not actively selling on Amazon. So this is their main criteria. So your products aren't available on Amazon to be purchased there. Then they are allowed to redirect traffic.
Do you allow your wholesale partners to sell on Amazon?
No, we actually don't allow any of our partners, including ourselves. So this is also true for us as a D2C brand, to sell our products on any third-party platform. So it's not just about Amazon. And Amazon in general is a very important player, and I think you shouldn't underestimate Amazon. But we just believe that the premium brand that we are requires a certain dedication to the products, a certain dedication to the content, etc., that is not suitable on a platform, no matter which platform it is.
Okay, got it. So it works for you. It's like it's a case you don't see that often in the market right now, where it works. Like for all sites, for the dealer, for Amazon, they're still getting your advertising money, even for you. When I have podcast conversations with other manufacturers, they usually tell me they want to go away from the hardware business, producing products like the lawn mowing machines, getting more into the software service business, which I think is also the case with the Husqvarna group, as I'm a big user of the Gardena brand when it comes to watering in the garden. You have this kind of smart line you also have at the Husqvarna group. Can this be an income source? Today I'm just paying you for the product, which is smart, which comes with kind of a Wi-Fi connection. I can manage it per app, but eventually I might see a case where I will be willing to pay you a monthly fee in order to get some function. Is this something you're looking into already?
We are not just looking into that. We are actually already offering that. We call it Lawn as a Service. So you can actually do that. You can have that as a subscription service in several European markets. And we strongly believe that, next to the Gardena smart system or the smart robotic mowers that we have at Husqvarna, that there will be more and more other kind of services that we can offer in the future. Think about your robotic mower. What do you do with your robotic mower over the winter time? This is typically something that our dealers offer. It's a kind of a winter storage service, checkup, etc. So these kind of services we are also transforming into the online world and offering online. And it goes even beyond that. Who wouldn't think about offering all kinds of gardening services in the near future? Lawn as a service?
Lawn as a service. So can you elaborate this a little bit? So I would pay you money on a monthly basis. So my dealer would collect my machinery?
No, this is the particular example about the winter service, but lawn as a service really means that based on, for example, square meters, for example, based on garden size, etc., we select a fitting robotic mower for you, you pay a monthly fee, and we take care of everything, including the dealer. We take care of the installation, we take care that the machine is running, we take care that we collect it over the winter time, that we service it, if you need a new model, that you get a new model automatically, etc.
Okay, and that's working already in some markets.
Yep.
Okay, that's the first evolution model of the platform model. The second evolution would be to allow other manufacturers or other providers using your customer access to provide their services. Let's say there's like a super precise weather prediction service I want to have because I want to have the best garden, whatever. So I want to have the perfect time when the lawnmower is going out, and therefore I have to buy this kind of weather data. So is this something that's going to be possible in the future?
I would say if you are clever and you are a clever guy, you can actually do a lot already today. With services like IFT and other services that we allow on our smart systems, both on Gardena and as well as on Husqvarna, you can actually connect already kind of third-party services. Is that something that we are actually pushing today? Not so much, but for sure this is something that we are also investigating for the future.
That's interesting. So lawn as a service, it's definitely an interesting thing. The Amazon strategy.
So can we sign you up as a first customer for that?
So maybe we should talk about the influencers thing first, because I have some campaigns in mind where I definitely can use the new tractor services. So in markets where Husqvarna is not set as number one brand yet, especially I might guess that in the US it's not the not number one brand. There are other lawn mowing services. So in those new markets, is there a specific strategy, especially via direct-to-consumer channels, to enter those markets, or it's still wholesale dealer-based?
So actually, first of all, we are quite big in North America, Husqvarna. I think we do roughly 30% of the Husqvarna business is coming out of North America. Own factory there, own operations there, etc. But yes, also in the US, as it is a large country, we are working with wholesale businesses there. We also sell products on Amazon because the Husqvarna business in North America is quite different to the one that we are having here in Europe. So you will see a bit of a different approach per region. Again, keep in mind, I'm responsible for Europe and Pacific, so I can't go in depth into North America. But also North America is a big D2C market for us. So next to our wholesale operations, we also have D2C there running for a number of years. Don't ask me how long, but definitely for a number of years already.
And in the Asian markets where there might be competitors that are even ahead when it comes to smart machinery, we talked before this podcast that there are providers for this vacuum cleaning robots in the household. They might be also investing in lawn mowing machinery. Is Gardena or Husqvarna, they are also a brand what a Chinese customer or Taiwan customer might prefer over a local Chinese product?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you have the big brand of made in Europe, made in Germany, etc., made in Sweden equally. So this is for sure a brand that works also well in these markets. As I mentioned before, Japan is a big market for us. Gardena is also going more and more into the Asian markets. Also big in Australia and New Zealand.
So if you're looking forward like 2022, 2023, what is kind of the biggest innovation you're looking forward from a sales channel or product perspective?
So this year is, of course, I would say a bit of a transition year. On one side, we are hopefully ending the pandemic. On the other side, I mean, we still see a challenging supply situation. We still see a terrible war situation in the Ukraine. Etc., which will have some effects also on us, to be quite honest and frank here. At the same time, you will see that Husqvarna is continuing to invest into the markets, continuing to invest into new products and new categories. So watch out for new announcements about new products coming. I would say the big trends ahead of us is for sure continuous growth in the robotic space. This is what we are really dedicated and focused on. The shift from petrol to battery overall. When it comes to sales channels, we strongly believe that D2C is an important channel for us. So we definitely continue to develop that in even more markets across Europe and other regions around the world. But I also want to refer back that we are strong believers that this needs to be an integrated approach with our dealers, because we don't see D2C as, I often refer to it internally as moving boxes from A to B. This is not how we understand D2C. We understand D2C as we want to become closer to our consumers, closer to you, closer to the ones who are using our products, but also closer to our partners, to our dealers. And I actually personally don't like the term dealer. I much rather refer to them as partners, because they have been helpful over the last decades and they will be helpful over the next decades that are coming ahead of us. It's just about finding together new clever ways how we can approach consumers and provide value to them at the end of the day.
So that's one of the very rare podcasts where there's a future for the wholesale partners, which is good in this case. So how do you help your dealers to move forward when it comes to digital investments?
Yeah. So definitely good question. We have internal dealer development programs for that, where it's really about upskilling our dealers, where it's about providing them with digital trainings, providing them with the right tools, with the right level of education when it comes to the products, but also to how to leverage our D2C platforms and so on. But I would say the most important one is that you have the right mindset for that. You as a dealer, as a partner, you need to really make that shift. You need to see it as a partnership. It's not longer about just selling the product. It's really about how can we jointly make a successful business out of that. Okay. But that's definitely something we are very keen in working very close with our partners.
What kind of pitch do you need from Amazon to sell directly? So you say it's worth it.
Yeah. So first of all, we are, as I mentioned, we are in a constant dialogue with Amazon. I mean, we have great business relationships with them. We see them equally as a partner for our brand like Gardena. We see them as a strong partner in the US, but we don't believe that they are currently fulfilling all the criteria we need to sell Husqvarna products in Europe. In Europe, we have a very specific thing, which you might know, which is a so-called selective distribution system. So we have implemented that at Husqvarna, and with that certain criterias, qualitative and quantitative criterias that you as a partner need to fulfill. And Amazon isn't fulfilling these criteria. So Amazon is working hard on becoming better and better, but currently they are not officially fulfilling these criterias. And second to that, we strongly, and I refer back to what I mentioned before, we believe in the partnership with our dealers. We believe in this close collaboration for having someone who actually installs a robotic mower, who provides you services on the weekends in the gardens, who provides you with care advice about your plants and your lawn. And this is simply something that Amazon can't offer. And Amazon, so far, they haven't done that pitch to me where they wanted to go into that space.
Okay, they only need to open like 1,000 dealerships. Easy thing. How like your investment in the brand and brand trust translates into conversion in the buying funnel.
Mm-hmm. And definitely also a good question. And again, repeating what I mentioned in the beginning, we are a company which has 333 years of history, and that means 333 years of building up our brand, building up our reputation in the market. We are worldwide known for building and producing quality premium gardening products, and this is why consumers refer back to us. This is why someone like you, Alex, has already a Husqvarna product. And I mean,
you cannot destroy it. It's like it's impossible.
No,
like
asking the question to you, I mean, this is also how you would start your journey. You wouldn't go on Amazon and search for a chainsaw or a tractor. You would know there is a quality brand like Husqvarna. You would search for a partner who is capable to deliver you with the right products and the right services for that.
I would trust a gardening influencer, but you know, we're gonna continue this discussion later. So thank you for this very nice podcast. Thank you for being on Commerce Talks.
Thank you for having me.